Yo, what's good, guys? It's Gentleman here, and this is going to be a bit of a different kind of video for me. I haven't really done one of these before. I don't know how often I'll do them again, but it's a bit of a different thing, and I just wanted to make it and put it out for you guys and just, see how it goes. So, if you don't know, which I don't think I've talked about it on this channel before, I'm a huge film nerd. I love movies. I love making movies. I do it all the time in my spare time. I like directing and just making things. I love it. And I really like writing as well. Really like writing. I do that probably more than any of the others. And so, for the past little bit, I've been a little bored. I've, basically written all my ideas. Not the creative juices are not flowing, so to speak. And, it's a bit of a rough time. But I had a bunch of time on my hands, and if you guys know, that Five Nights at Freddy's movie that was greenlit all the way back in 2015, so 8 years ago, was finally given its release date. It comes out this year, October 27th, I believe. And I'm really excited to see that, actually, because young me was super into Five Nights at Freddy's, and I was so excited for that movie when it was announced. I was a kid at that point in time. I mean, I don't really know what you specify or what ages you would consider to be a kid, but I was younger when that was a thing. But it's finally coming out 8 years later. I'm excited for it, but I'm cautiously excited for it because it could be good. Some video game movies as of late have been pretty decent, so I have some hope, but it could also go off the rails pretty easily. Anyways, I just got very distracted talking about that. Can you tell I like movies? That I go off on rants all the time. It annoys everybody around me. But that was kind of relevant information, because the reason I bring it up is because Five Nights at Freddy's is kind of what started this big indie game phase. I can't speak today. Indie game phase on the internet that's kind of still going around. And it made the big popular viral mascot horror, if you've heard of it. And so that leads us to what I ended up doing. The most recent mascot horror game to really hit the big time. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called GARTEN of Banban. It's received a lot of hate online for being really low effort. And I can't really speak on that. I haven't played the games myself. I've seen a couple people play them, but I haven't played them myself. So just because of that fact, I won't be saying my opinion on the game because I haven't played it, and I don't really think that's fair. And even so, I'm not really the type of person to go hate on someone else's project because, even if it is low effort, the devs seem like they're trying, at least trying. They seem like it's a passion project for them. So I'm going to leave them alone. And yeah, but the reason I bring that up is because I was bored over the past little bit, and I got the news of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And so that got me thinking. I was thinking, if this movie's successful, what other indie horror games are gonna get movies? Are they gonna do a Hello Neighbor, a Bendy and the Ink Machine movie? Who knows, right? And so me being me and being bored and having nothing to do with my life, I sat down and I wrote an entire script for a movie adaptation of Garten of Banban. Yeah, I don't really know if I'm proud of this or not, but I did do it. So I'm just going to quickly go through the plot outline with you guys, just in case that's interesting. And I even made a mock-up poster for it. I'll put it on screen right now, just because I made a poster for it. It's got our girl Mila Kunis on it because I like her. She's an underrated actress, if you ask me. I think she's great in comedy. She's in one of my favorite TV shows of all time, That 70s Show. But if you've seen the movie Black Swan, she has some pretty serious talent for serious roles as well, and I think she should get more serious roles. So I threw her on this poster. She'll be our protagonist for this movie because I think the protagonist is a woman. It's never actually specified, but I think so. So anyways, that was the poster, and I'm going to get into the plot outline now. So I want the movie to open with sort of a flashback of a girl, and she's in a pretty, abusive household. Her mom's not very nice, and yeah, she just goes off to her room, and things aren't really going her way. But then a guy comes to the window and it's like, hey, you want to come like hang out with me? And it just kind of shows like this guy is the bright spot in this girl's life, right? We see that, but that's the end of the flashback at the beginning of the movie. And then we cut to real life. They're both real life. I can't speak today, guys. I already said that. But we cut to modern day, and that is where this lady now has a child, and she has moved to a different town, and she's just... Sorry guys, my mic just cut out. That was so much fun to fix. It took me way longer than it needed to. But getting back into the plot outline, you got this girl from the flashback. She's now grown up and she has a daughter, so she's moved to this new town. And, she's just out having coffee with her friend, talking about how things didn't work out with her kid's dad and everything. And, just living the regular person life. And then she goes to pick up her child from school. The child's not doing super well in this school, like getting picked on and everything. It's just overall not going very well for this child. So the mom, she's trying to figure it all out. She's trying to figure out like, oh, what do I do to help my kid out here? And so she takes the kid home, and then they get home, and the kid's babysitter, nanny, is there. And she's there to watch the kid when the mom goes to work at a restaurant at night. Because she works at a restaurant, I decided. So she goes to this restaurant, and, she's just working her shift. And someone comes in by the name of Mason Weaverly. I don't know if the character in the game is named Weaverly Mason or Mason Weaverly. I don't know. It's one of the two. But point is, this character is in the restaurant and asks our protagonist character, who I have not named yet, so we'll just call her Mila because Mila Kunis is the actress I chose. So ask Mila to sit with him, and she sits with him, and he ends up telling her, my God, my English is not working today, tells her about his new kindergarten opening up called Banban's Kindergarten, and gives her a brochure and a rundown and everything on how he's just reaching out to a bunch of local kids and their parents to see if they're possibly interested in going to this new kindergarten that's opening. And they're opening on their first day with a Bring a Friend Day. And so the mom considers it. Mila considers it, but doesn't give an answer. And the guy's like, yeah, no worries. Just get back to me, and gives her his business card, and he leaves the restaurant. And so this is kind of a weird experience. Mila goes home, and she's just kind of looking it over before she goes to bed. But when she gets home, she's kind of like harassed a little bit by her creepy neighbor character that we'll establish at some point. Because that night, she sees that the neighbor is loading all these weird, like, barrel-like containers into his truck and driving off, and he seems really suspicious about it. So Mila, being our protagonist who needs to get this movie going, decides to go break into his house to see what exactly these are. And so we get a whole sequence of that, trying to find these barrels and what they are, and she ends up finding out that they are a substance called javanium. And while she's discovering this, the neighbor comes home, comes after her, but she ends up getting out, calling the police. Neighbor gets arrested. She's fine. Whole scenario, whole thing, but she's fine in the end. So she goes back home, goes to sleep, finds out her daughter hasn't woken up, and then she wakes up the next morning after a dream. And the dream is another flashback of when she's a teenager with this guy from the first flashback, and the guy is showing her all these cartoons for children that he likes to make for fun. And, they're just really getting to know each other in this scene, and towards the end of the scene, they sort of start to get a little intimate, you know what I mean? And then she wakes up from this dream and finds a note from the babysitter saying that her child was invited by her friend who's attending Banban's kindergarten to their opening day of Bring a Friend Day. This note's from the babysitter because the babysitter was in charge of the little child. I haven't decided if the child is male or female yet. It's kind of written in the script as a they, so it can be either one, depending on if anyone ever adapts the script into anything. So, yeah, that's that. And the mom's like, all right, cool. I kind of have a day to myself. So, she goes to work So not really a day to herself. She has to work, but goes to work and then ends up having coffee with her friend again, just discussing everything. Then she ends up getting home pretty late at night after going out, drinking, partying with her friend after being convinced to. And she gets home and realizes that her daughter isn't there. And she finds a voicemail on the home phone of just the babysitter, like, hyperventilating, like, I'm sorry, I don't know where she is, or he is, or they are, my bad. And, it's just the whole thing. And so Mila, the mom, decides to go to Banban's kindergarten herself. And then when she gets there, it's kind of just the gameplay of the first two games adapted into a movie. And I don't really want to explain the entire game, so you can go watch it. And it's basically that, like, go watch a gameplay. It's like that. And then I did write my own ending, because if you've seen Garten of Banban 2, it ends with the protagonist going down an elevator with text written, "Whatever you do, don't go down here," or something like that. I wrote my own ending. I'm sure the Euphoric Brothers, the devs, are their ending is gonna be completely different from mine. I guarantee it when Garten of Banban 3 comes out, if that's even their last one. But I wrote my own, and I'm not actually gonna tell you guys that in this video, because I don't know, maybe I'll adapt this script myself, or like see if someone else wants to, or I don't know, we'll see where it goes. Hey, maybe the Euphoric Brothers will, maybe they'll adapt it themselves. Maybe they'll want a Garten of Banban movie because of 5 Nights at Freddy's success. Just saying, Euphoric Brothers, if you want the script, happy to give it to you. Hit me up. Also, if you need anyone to test Garten of Banban 3, love to do it. Love to help you guys out. So yeah, hit me up if you got anything for me, please. And yeah, guys, that's my movie pitch for Garten of Banban. I guess it's kind of terrible, but I enjoyed writing it. I had fun, and I had fun making this video for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed listening to it. And hey, maybe something will come of this script in the future. Who knows? I really couldn't say, but yeah, that's what I got for my movie script. I'm sorry you guys all had to endure Movie Nerd Gentleman today, but I hope there was some enjoyment to be had in it. But I'll see you guys later.